Good afternoon, guys. It's Working, bringing you a very quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar. This is the 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And last time we spoke, guys, Bitcoin had just broken above this 3,400 yesterday. I told you guys we're going to be watching this level here, 3,600, to see if we can breach that level. Price came up, didn't quite reach it. We got to about 3,580, somewhere thereabouts. And then we just started consolidating, a little bit of a correction here. Not much at all as of now. In fact, if I go over here and I look at this entire microstructure here and I go swing low, swing high, we just kind of measure out this this latest move here. We can see that we haven't even corrected here to the 382. Now, if I pull it off of this this little microstructure here, we assume this would be kind of a 1 being this being, or excuse me, this being a 1, 2, up for the 3, down for the 4. So we draw it off the bottom of would be a wave 3. We can see we have a perfect hit right off of the 382. So again, very, very bullish looking, guys, so far, if this is all it does. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a price come back down and at least retest 3,400. In fact, I'd be a little more comfortable if it did do that. And if I was feeling lucky, I may even put some buy orders in here, like right around 3,400, looking for a nice bounce, because as we just if I pull that fib off of that microstructure here, this latest move here, swing low, swing high, we can see that's a perfect hit off the 382, and we can see that the 50 lines up perfectly with the top of our support there at 3,400. What we assume will act as support at 3,400. What it usually is resistance starts acting as support. So I'm going to be watching this very closely, guys. Again, I'm not entering into any position, but if you are looking for a position to enter, I'd maybe a small position right here at 3,400, targeting 3,800 here would not be a bad idea. 36 to 3,800, just a very small scalp trade is not a bad idea here, but let's see if it even corrects at all. This may have been it. As I said, we did have a perfect hit off the 382, and all eyes are going to be watching this 3,600. I think if we, as I said yesterday, if we can break into this 36 to $3,800 zone again on Coinbase, I know some of the other exchanges prices are a little bit different. A lot of people use Bitfinex. Bitfinex prices are a little bit higher. But again, I'm referring to Coinbase here. The principle is all the same. You're going to find the same pattern. You're just going to find it on a little higher prices versus Coinbase. But for now, looking at Coinbase, if we do break above 3,600, between 36 and 3,800 with some consolidation in here, obviously if we break above 3,800, it's going to be extremely bullish. But even if we can break above 3,600 with consolidation and stay above 3,600, especially to where the point to where 3,600 starts acting as support, as of right now, it's acting as resistance. If we break above it, come back down to retest, and it acts as support, I'm going to start to get a lot more optimistic here in the short term, guys. So let's wait and see if that happens. Again, if you're looking for a very small scalp trade, possibly stacking in an order down here at about 3,400, looking for a nice bounce up to 3,600. But I'm going to be kind of watching this to see if we can break above 3,600, as I said. And I'm going to be watching it in conjunction, as always, with volume. Volume, we still have it's slowly increasing on the day. We're at almost 6 billion. As of now. So I mean, if I pull this up, pardon me, guys, if I pull this up and look at historically over the last few days, I showed you this last time. Pardon me. We have had kind of an increase. We were at 3.5, 3.7. Yesterday we jumped from the prior day of 3.7 billion to 5.4 billion, and today we're about 5.9 billion, approaching 6 billion on the day. So if we continue to get that increase in volume, if that does continue, guys, obviously that's going to be an extremely, at least short term, extremely bullish sign. All right, let's look at longs and shorts. Coming over here and looking at shorts, we can see that some shorts have gotten liquidated here. Market makers have been able to push price up to liquidate some of these shorts, hit some of the stop losses of some of these shorts. That being said, shorts are still fairly stacked overall. Pardon me, guys. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Tried to pause the video very quickly. So yeah, shorts overall still remain fairly stacked, but the spread, if we come over here and we look at longs, the spread between longs and shorts is not nearly what it was. Shorts still outpace longs, but not nearly as much as they were. And we had this nice little drop off on longs, and this is a bullish sign. This is telling you that the traders that are in the market right now are not foolish. In other words, they took profit off this latest rise, as you can see with this drop off in longs here, and this is a pretty fairly significant drop off all at once. This all happened, I believe, within about let's look here. Yeah, this all happened within about 2 hours. This drop off here, and that's about, I believe, that's about a 10% drop. Let's measure it. Yeah, about 10.8% drop. So again, not insignificant. So that's telling you that the investors that are in this market are not foolish. These are not guppy investors. Yes, these guys have been burnt and they're taking profit along the way, which again is a very, very healthy sign. That means less manipulation. With there's less guppies, there's less people to manipulate. Now you can still manipulate, but you're not going to get nearly the profit. So again, we're starting to see the market work itself out. We're starting to see longs and shorts balance out. We're starting to see there's no real advantage for market makers to manipulate the market. In other words, there's really no one left to take a lot of money from. Little scalps here and there, but not like it used to be. I mean, and obviously that's not saying a whole lot. It used to just be insane the amount of guppies that were in this market. So again, retail investors are taking their profit. They've done that. Longs and shorts are very, very close to each other now. There's really not a big spread between the two, which means the market can do what it's supposed to do organically. We can see exactly what this market is going to do and how this market is going to play out in a non-biased way. In other words, with longs and shorts kind of completely, with that gap between longs and shorts no longer there, market makers don't have any incentive to go one direction or another. So we can see which way the market is going to go on its own. In other words, things are getting much healthier than they were, guys. That's a long-winded way to say the market is getting much healthier. I don't know that we're there yet, but we're certainly getting there. Pulling out on the daily chart, looking at our moving averages and exponential moving averages, we can see that I told you guys yesterday we were watching our 8-day EMA. I told you this candle here I wanted to see close today above this 8-day EMA, and right now, obviously, it looks like it's on track to do that. We'll wait and see. There's still a lot of time left in the day, but we'll wait and see how this ends up shaping up. But right now, guys, we are seeing some signs of strength. We are seeing some life in the bulls here, and let's wait and see. Again, this is again on the daily chart. Let's see if we can get price to close above this 21-day moving average, this 21-day exponential moving average, this 21-day EMA, this yellow line here. As I always tell you, if we can break above that, if we can get a decisive break above that, in other words, not just a break above, but if we can get a candle opening and closing above this 21-day EMA, that usually signals a shift in momentum. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's a 100% absolute guarantee, but it's definitely a very, very good sign if that does happen. All right, guys. So quick recap before I close up on Bitcoin. We're watching 3,400. I wouldn't mind to see a test here, even a small position here at 3,400 with a tight stop loss, and see if we can get a nice bounce off that. And of course, if we break above 3,600, anywhere between 36 and 3,800, if we can get into this zone with consolidation, in my opinion, that'll be an extremely bullish sign. If we do break down below 3,400, we just kind of meander down here slowly. Certainly, if we break back again below 3,200, guys, I think all bets are off. I think this would just be, we could chalk this up as a bull trap, and at that point we're probably more than likely just going to collapse back down to 3,000. But again, we're nowhere near there yet, guys. We are getting some signs of hope. Now again, I'm not at all convinced that we have seen bottom. We're seeing nothing that would indicate a bottom. We don't have the volume. We don't have that massive impulsive move. We don't have anything that would indicate a bottom as of yet. But that doesn't mean that this can't spark a bull run. It all depends on how much energy and enthusiasm is left, and if people are willing to take the chance on Bitcoin. A lot of people have gotten burned, guys. So I'm very skeptical. I think this is probability tells me this is short-lived, and we're very likely going to at least come back down and retest these lows again. But that doesn't mean that has to happen, guys. This certainly could be a bottom. And again, we're going to be watching and see if we can break above 3,800, guys. Obviously, if we can break above 3,800, guys, I'm going to get a lot more optimistic. But if we can break above 3,600, this is really going to get my attention. So let's watch and see if we can break that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap Bitcoin looking at EOS very, very quickly. Obviously, EOS is following Bitcoin just to a greater degree. When Bitcoin drops, EOS drops exponentially greater. When Bitcoin rises, EOS rises exponentially greater, and that's what we're seeing right now. Let me zoom into the 4-hour chart so we can compare apples to apples here. Looking at the 4-hour chart, obviously this is about as impulsive as we've seen EOS in a very, very long time. In fact, the last time I saw EOS look this way was really, I don't even want to compare this. This doesn't really, this move back here, we get this nice impulsive move. Now, I'm pointing this out because this was very impulsive looking here, and look how it ended up. It ended up obviously in disaster. Now, it's a very different time in the market than it was then. So this is not insignificant. And with EOS, we are actually seeing a very decent increase in volume. Now, we're nowhere near the kind of volume that we need to see from EOS. We need to see volume, daily volume, consistently above at least 2 billion before we know that before I'll start declaring a bottom was in, before I'll start to get extremely bullish. But the fact that we're at 1.3 billion on volume for the day, that is a massive rise from what we have been doing. You know, looking back here, guys, we've been at 7 billion. We even had a $9 billion day, but that was, or excuse me, a 900 billion or 900 million. Sorry, guys, $900 million day. But that was very, very rare. Just comparing the last month here, guys. And of course, we've been mostly at 7, 6. Even in the last 2 days, prior to actually the last 3 days, we were at 500 million, 592 million, and then yesterday we had that spike, almost doubling in volume, where we broke a billion in one day on EOS. And then, of course, what do we have today? We're at 3.3, or excuse me, at 1.3 billion for the day. So again, a nice little uptick. The momentum is continuing. So let's wait and see on EOS how the EOS is looking a lot more bullish. That being said, than Bitcoin is. That being said, we know that EOS does follow Bitcoin, and this thing could turn around on a dime. We're not seeing any divergence from Bitcoin as of yet. That being said, we did break above this 211. This was a very, very significant zone. We broke above yesterday, above, or actually, was it yesterday? Actually, it may have been earlier today. That depends on your time zone, obviously. But we've just recently broken above this 245 resistance. That was very not insignificant. We broke above that. We came back down for the retest. What was resistance started acting as support. We bounced off that, and now all eyes are on this 270 range here. 270 is acting as a fairly strong resistance right now. We have a very relevant zone, a very strong resistance between $3 and 270. So I want to see a break above 270, and then at least minimum consolidate in this zone between $3 and 270. I want to see 270 start to act as a support. Right now it's acting as resistance. I want to see a break above, a retest of 270, and then it act as support. If that does happen, obviously, guys, I'm going to get a lot more bullish. And if we can break above $3, I'm going to get extremely bullish on EOS. So let's watch and wait and see if we can break above $3. To the downside, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we do break back below 245. Pardon me. But as long as we maintain ourselves above 211, really that's going to be the cutoff for me. If we can stay above 211, guys, on a retrace here, even if we do have a slight correction, I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic. As far as entering into a position, if you haven't already, I told you on my last on my last time I did an update on EOS, I told you that 211. Obviously, this was a very decent area to dollar cost average in. But if we broke above 211, maybe entering into a small position targeting 245 to even 270 was not a bad idea. So if you did take that trade, congratulations. But as of right now, guys, yes, if you want a dollar cost average into a position into EOS, it's not a bad idea. But I'm very, very, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of this move because we've seen moves like this, as I've shown you. We've seen moves like this in the past, and they just fall right over, eventually fall right over, and we know that this is just following Bitcoin. So again, small positions into EOS is not a bad idea. It certainly is looking impulsive right now, looking rather bullish right now. So let's wait and see how this plays out. But if we can break above 270 and get into this zone between 270 and $3, I'm going to get a lot more optimistic. Coming out, looking at our exponential moving averages and moving averages for EOS, we can see that we finally, yesterday, we had this break above, obviously we had a break above the 8-day EMA. We had this 21-day EMA, this is again on the daily, 21-day EMA acting as resistance. Price broke above that today on this daily candle here, and let's wait and see if we can get this daily candle to close above this 21-day EMA. Now again, even if it does, that's not going to mean a trend reversal. I want to see a daily candle both open and close above this 8-day EMA. And technically we opened almost right on it. I mean, maybe slightly below it here. So I'm really not counting this. I want to see a decisive close above and open above. But if we can get this daily candle to close above this 21-day EMA, again, that is going to be a sign of strength, guys. So again, EOS is looking rather bullish right now. In fact, if this was not tied to Bitcoin, I would be very excited about this. But knowing that this is tied to Bitcoin, guys, I just can't in good conscience tell you that this thing is going to continue up because Bitcoin is so uncertain. And unfortunately, EOS is, even though I do think that it's only a matter of time before EOS does get disconnect from Bitcoin, as of right now, we know that it's still connected to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops, EOS is going to drop right along with it. But still, right now, guys, things are looking rather bullish on EOS. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, would appreciate an upvote if you have enjoyed this content. Until next time, guys, please trade safe. Take care of yourselves. This is Working, signing out.